Hello and good morning everybody. In this video I'll be unboxing the Framework laptop 16. So the reason I'm making this video is because I just really like the idea and the philosophy behind the Framework business. This will be my first ever video, so don't expect too much. But when I was looking into getting a new laptop, I'd heard about Framework before, so I already knew about them. And I decided that I wanted something more sustainable, and I also really believe in the mission of making our devices repairable, user serviceable. Because a lot of movements are very anti-consumerism, and I really like seeing a company that goes against this. But when I was looking to buy my laptop, so looking into the Framework, something I noticed was that I didn't find that many videos that had like a review from a user's perspective. So there were some, but not that many. So what I want to do is just make a series of videos where I review my Framework 16 over a period of time. So I'm planning to do like every 6 months or so a review, just to let you know how the experience has been. What better way to start than to start with an unboxing. I actually also plan to make a video a bit on the order experience and maybe some tips and tricks on how to configure your own Framework if you would be interested in buying one. This is not a sponsored review, just I just like the idea, the philosophy, and I just want to provide info to potential buyers so that they can make an informed decision. So first of all, this is the box it came in. I must say I like the packaging. It seems reasonably sturdy. Of course, I'll have to check inside, to see what other protections there are. But yeah, the box seems decent. Let's say. Alright, so now there's also a nice here on the side. There's a nice QR code, that links the manual of how to put it together. That's also something we'll be doing in this video. I'll also put the Framework laptop together. But first, let's open it up and see what we've got inside. Now I need to figure out how to open this. Let's see. I think it should be. Let's remove this tape to see. Yeah, I don't want to damage the box too much, just in case something gets. So just in case something was damaged or something. Also, something I have to remark is that I was pretty surprised by how quickly it shipped. I placed the order on Tuesday, if I remember correctly. And for a small operation, relatively speaking, like Framework, I was expecting it to take a couple of weeks or such. But actually it's Friday now, and it's already here. So that's pretty fast. I mean, even some of the big companies aren't that fast, so not bad. Alright, so that's how we open it. Let's just get the angle that you're hoping for. Alright. I'm gonna grab my phone for a bit so I can give you another view. And there we have it. So we have the bezel, the keyboard, and the cards I ordered with the laptop. So that is very nicely included. Now something about the configuration that I have. I basically took a very bare bones, very bare bones configuration. So it doesn't include RAM, it doesn't include an SSD, it doesn't include a charger, because I already had those pieces, and a penny saved is a penny earned, as the saying goes. And it also makes sense from a ecological perspective. I ordered my own RAM, basically the same speed as the framework RAM, but it was a bit cheaper to order it elsewhere. So, and the same goes for the SSD basically. But I'll discuss that more in the video about the ordering process and, you know, things you could consider when you're ordering your own. But yeah, alright, so here we have the keyboard. So that's very cool. Also a nice QR code again. Here we have a booklet. So I'm guessing this is it's some sort of manual, which is, in my opinion, not for me. It's not really all that relevant. I already looked at the manual on how to put it together and such. So although I'll probably have to check in between. We also have a nice sticker pad. Then the numpad. I did order the numpad because sometimes it's handy to have, but I also ordered the spacers, you know, so that I have both options. I'm guessing the numpad, I probably won't be using it often, but it's nice to have the option to switch in the numpad if you do need it. So that's just nice to have. The bezel, yeah, so I just chose the black bezel or whatever the default color is. I'm not one for customization, really. But if you want, you can order different color bezels and so on. So the framework in that regard is very customizable, and that is one of their strong suits, one of the strong points. Then we have the screwdriver that is included. So we get both a Torx 5 and a Phillips Zero head. Oh, pretty nice screwdriver. And this is also nice. The other end is like sort of a prying tool. So that's nice to see that included. Of course, then we have the expansion cards. I took 2 USB A's. Just nice to have USB A's sometimes, because, you know, a lot of stuff is moving to USB-C, but sometimes you just need the full size ones. Then I had 4 USB-C expansion cards. I mean, USB-C, all the things. And then I also had both an HDMI and a DisplayPort adapter. You know, Personally, I like DisplayPort better than HDMI, but sometimes when you're like in a conference room or something like that, you just only have the option of HDMI. So having HDMI is, for my home setup, it will definitely be DisplayPort. But it's always good to have the option of HDMI just because it's a lot more commonplace. And then finally, I also have the audio expansion card because I do have a wired headset that I would like to use. Bit of a shame that they don't have an audio jack and that you need an expansion card for this. That is something I think might be improved. I somewhat understand the logic. I mean, especially if you're using so especially if there is no digital to analog converter in the framework laptop, then including an audio jack is not just the jack itself, but also the converter. Although that shouldn't be that much space, but I can somewhat understand the decision. I mean, a lot of people are moving to wireless headsets. Although personally, I think it goes a bit against their mission because a lot of wireless headsets don't have user replaceable batteries, and when those batteries start to degrade, as they inevitably will, the only option you have left is to buy new ones, which I think is actually a huge problem in terms of sustainability. But yeah, I can somewhat understand. But if they ever make a new model and they do see the possibility of giving an audio jack, that would be absolutely something I would very much like to see. But guess we'll have to wait and see. Alright, let's put this over there for a bit. And then below this we seem to have the framework laptop itself. It's actually heavier than I expected. Before this I was using a Dell XPS 15. I think this one, it could just be like the density, but it feels heavier to me. But not too heavy. It's fine. Just heavier than I was expecting. And they have, that's very nice. They have a start here guide and a Windows and Linux installation guide. So that's pretty cool. I'm a bit of an IT nerd, so I know how to install stuff, but I think this will be very helpful for a lot of people that have never done this before, so that is very, very user friendly. Let's see what is hidden in here. I'm guessing this would be where the adapter would normally be, the power brick would be if I had included one in my order, but I did not, so there's no power brick in there. You get what you pay for, right? So let's put that over there. And then here, this seems to be just just some material to, to protect the laptop. So in terms of packaging, I'd say it's pretty decent. There are definitely better options out there, but I think this is it's also completely undamaged. I think this packaging is pretty okay. Room for improvement, probably, but this is perfectly fine. This is perfectly adequate. No complaints from me there. And now, of course, we have the true test. Now I'm gonna have to put it together and see how well I remember the instructions, and we'll have to see if I need to cheat a bit. And I'm guessing I probably will need to. all right, let's first, you know, remove the material, the protective material. Here it is. Looking pretty nice, actually. I'm actually kind of impressed by how it looks and how it feels. It feels sturdy. I was expecting like the screen and stuff to be more flexible, but this is really sturdy. This feels good. This feels nice. All right, and of course we're gonna have to open it up. And here we have it. Bit bare bones at the moment, but we're getting there. We're getting there. All right. Okay, so then I need to, if I remember correctly, it was. Can I already remove this plastic? Yes, I can. So they have some extra protective plastic for the shipping, so that's good to see. Alright, and then I had to pull these tabs and then pull down these spacers, yes, and then just lift them up gently. And I'm gonna put these here for a bit out of camera view, and also so that I know where it should go back. Then it should be, yes, the same for the touchpad. All right, pretty interesting to like if you ever have a touchpad that doesn't work anymore, replacing it is just that easy. And yeah, as I was telling you, like this is the strong point of definitely one of the strong points of Framer. Feels nice. I think it's glass topped. I'll have to, of course, check it a bit more in detail once I've put the thing together. I'm not gonna put too much force on it while it's not attached to anything. And here we have very nicely numbered like what order we should go. So first we need to pull this cable, and it's nicely labeled 1, and then you have all the screws that are all labeled 1, 2. Of course I can't find 3, but it should be close to 4 is over here, so I'm guessing 3 would be somewhere in between. Number 3, where are you hiding? Let's see. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Here it is. Here it is. Found you. 4. All right. All right. So it's not that it's not ordered. It's not like you go like this. But that makes sense actually, because that make sure it is the forces are evenly distributed. So, but let's first start with pulling out the cable. Oh, very easy. Just a nice pull tab, and you just pull up, and it comes loose, just like that. And now let's start with the screws. They're kept as screws, so they just, you unscrew them and they'll stay in place, so you can't lose them, which is a very, very nice feature. Actually, my Dell XPS laptop also has captive. Oh, actually, it wasn't. No, not my Dell laptop. It's another one I'm thinking of that had a captive screw that, over time, stopped being captive. Unfortunately, at some point, just due to wear and tear. But I'm a bit of a tinkerer, so. But I'm wondering how the framework will fare. But this problem only occurred after like 5 years or something. So, and feeling these screws, I don't expect it will be a problem here. Just going based on the feel. I can't say for sure, of course, but right. Let's see, number 10. Sorry if this part of the video is a bit boring, but as I already shared, this is going to be my very first video. So expect amateur hour. I just can't tell you more than that. Let's see. 12. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna be able to watch the video myself because I'm gonna be cringing behind the screen for sure. And if you're cringing behind the screen, then I'm very sorry. But I'm hoping that at least you find the video useful and find it helpful in deciding whether you want your own framework laptop. And I have to say the screws are very nicely labeled. It's like very clear. A bit of searching around, but okay. I think that should be all, or did I miss some? I think I missed some. Where did I? Okay. Is this maybe still? Oh, no, I had all the screws, so that seems to have been fine. Alright. Okay, so here we have the internals. Doesn't that look awesome? User replaceable battery. Yeah, looks pretty nice. I'm gonna grab my RAM modules and SSD and install those, and quickly check to make sure I didn't forget any steps according to the manual, because I think it's been fine until now. Nah, you know what? I'm just gonna wing it. I'm not gonna check the steps. We're just gonna do it. Alright, so in terms of RAM, I bought some. What was well? It's a Kingston Impact Fury. It's, what were the timings again? Does it say here on the packaging? No, unfortunately it doesn't say. I'll include it in the video description. You know, just so that if you want to buy the same part. But basically what I did was I just looked for, so it's of course important to make sure you have DDR5 and SODIMM memory. SODIMM is like the form factor used in laptops. Desktop RAM is typically a bit bigger. And I just made sure to pick the capacity that I wanted, and picked like modules that have the same speed, the same amount of megahertz as the ones you can order in the store, just to make sure that so they should work just fine. If you pick faster memory, then you might run into compatibility issues because maybe it doesn't play nicely with the CPU. Slower RAM should typically work just fine, typically, but of course it's gonna be slower. So I just went for memory that has the same speed. Alright, that's one module. And now the other, I think it needs to go in like this. Yeah, it goes up, goes in upside down. The manual mentioned this actually, so that's actually very well done in the manual. I was just trying to push it in and I noticed that I was noticing some resistance, so but that's interesting. It's not something I've ever done before in a laptop, so interesting mechanism, but it works just fine. Then in terms of SSD, I went for a Crucial P310 1TB. So basically this drive just has a very nice sweet spot of like speed to performance. I mean, some people buy very fast drives, but I find that typically it doesn't matter all that much. So as long as you have an NVMe drive, it typically doesn't matter that much what the speed is, unless you're doing certain workloads that really need the drive speed. But in those cases, you probably know that you need it. Like for the typical user, I'd say don't more like SSDs have a lot of marketing fluff about the speed and such, but for most people it just straight up doesn't matter. So if you're shopping for a drive, here in the Netherlands, which is where I'm located, this drive offered a very nice balance of speed and capacity and cost, so I went for that one. But you should be fine no matter what you choose, basically. Alright, let's install the SSD. Alright. Alright, that was the SSD installation. I think that should actually be it in terms of... Oh, of course the bezel will also need to be installed, but I think for the rest it's just going to be putting everything back together again. So let's do that. Now I'm guessing these need to be put back in reverse order, most likely. That's typically how it works. Like before this we went from 1 to I think 17 in total, and now we went backwards and start with 17 and then work our way back. So let's just do that. Actually, I'm gonna check the manual just real quick here after all. I'm gonna pause the video a bit just to make sure that I'm doing the right steps. Be right back. Alright, welcome back. I quickly had a peek at the manual. Good thing I did actually. just two things. When putting him back in the mid plate, there are some posts that you can use to align the mid plate. So this is the mid plate. So that is important when you're putting in the mid plate. Make sure you align it correctly. And then actually it turns out that we need to go not from 17 back to 1, but the other way around. So so I was saying like we probably need to go reverse order, but that was incorrect. We're just gonna go first the cable here, we press that in, and then we'll just tighten the screws down. Now the manual warns not to over tighten, so be a bit careful about that. Don't use excessive force. Just so that they're nice and snug. I mean, just use a bit of common sense there, and you should be fine. Now we're gonna play the game again of finding which screw is. If I had half a brain, I would probably be able to do this from memory, but unfortunately, here is number 5. Unfortunately, my memory is kinda shit. Alright, but I am noticing there is a bit of a pattern to the system, so it's not like it's completely random. So yeah, I'm finding the screws a bit quicker now, so that's actually fine. Until now, the process has been pretty smooth actually. I'm actually most worried about the bezel. Or guess we'll see. Until now, this has been smooth sailing all the way. Framework says this is average difficulty, but I'd say it's actually pretty easy. So let's see, number 12 over there. No complaints from me till now, at least. So, and then once I start it up, of course you'll see that I did something wrong and it doesn't boot. But we'll get there. But I have to say, it's all, in the spirit of repairability, everything is very clearly labeled. So, even as a complete beginner, you should be able to do this just fine, especially if you use the guide. Don't be an idiot like me. Just use the guide, and it shouldn't be all that hard. All right. Now I'm gonna quickly check if we need to put in the keyboard now. I'm guessing this is where we put in the keyboard, but let me check real quick. This really is a completely amateur video. Yeah, install the keyboard. Let's see. Yeah. And the nice thing is with installing the keyboard, so this is one of those cool things, right? So, and this is what makes the framework such a cool device, is that you can install the keyboard, and depending on how you want the layout, you can either just put it in the middle and have spaces on the sides here, or if you want the numpad, you just put it a bit more to the right, like this, and then you can put the numpad. Here. I'm guessing you probably could even do it like this. Although I'm not 100% sure on that one, but I'm guessing you probably can. But you know, that's the cool thing about Framework, right? They just give you these options. For now, I'm actually gonna install it. I was planning to do the spacers actually, but I'm actually gonna do with the numpad so that I can, you know, the spacers is what I'm probably gonna be using most of the time, and that's nice because then the keyboard is nicely centered. But I also want to just check that numpad that it works correctly. Not that I'm expecting issues there, but you. Huh. So this is the keyboard. Of course, you can pick different layouts in the configurator. Alright, I'm guessing it's just like that. It snaps in nicely. It uses magnets, but of course now I put it nicely in the center. But you know, I told before that I'm a bit of a not the most. When it comes to memorizing stuff, I'm not the best person, and of course I needed to put it a bit off center so I have room for the numpad. Alright, let's install the numpad. Just opening the box real quick. Here we have the numpad. It's actually kind of nice looking, and it has some extra keys like an extra escape and a calculator button. I actually really like the idea of having a calculator button on the numpad. It just makes perfect sense, and an extra backspace. So that's actually pretty cool. And it snaps in just like that, just that easy. Alright, love it. Alright, and then I'm guessing, but I'm gonna quickly check to make sure. Guessing I'll just be putting back the modules. Like the touchpad and such, but let me quickly check. Yeah, touchpad modules, spacers, input deck latches, bezel, and then finally the expansion cards. Alright. So let's just also I believe you can actually like shift where you have the touchpad, so you can have it like this, a bit more to the right. That is something you can do, but you can also have it centered or more to the left. So for example, with like the numpad, it would make sense to put it a bit to the left here, so that it, you know, aligns with the keyboard, so it's centered relative to the keyboard. So actually that's what I'm gonna try for now. Alright, and now we just slide these in. Alright. Alright, I had the feeling like it wasn't completely, yeah. Yeah, now it's flush. Now we close these. And it should be, yeah, it's in there. Yeah, and now all that's left should be the bezel and the expansion modules. Let me quickly check to make sure. that should indeed be it. Let me just put some boxes out of the way because I've been making a bit of a mess here. But that's fine, that's perfectly fine. Alright, so here we have the bezel. I'm guessing it should be quite straightforward. I mean, everything until now has been very, very straightforward, so. Alright. Oh, wow. It actually has like magnets that pull it. And that was it. That's the bezel installation. Well, that was hard. Woo! Jeez Louise, that's the hardest thing I've ever done. No, that was actually pretty easy. Alright, and now we can start putting in input modules. Expansion cards, I mean. So let's see. Alright. Yeah. So before you put those in, it's a good idea to make sure that so we have like a total of 6 bays for expansion cards, but it's important that you check that these latches. So I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but right now it's open and you see a red orangey color to indicate that it's open, and you can put in or remove modules. And if you see gray color or metallic color, I'd say it's aluminium color, then they're closed and you can't put in modules. So always check beforehand to make sure that you have them open. There's also on the website a bit of guidance on where best to place the modules, because not every bay has support for the same sort of things, but it's all shown on the website. Alright, I'm gonna put a USB-C here, and on the other side as well, just because I like my setup to be sort of symmetrical. Right? Yeah. Yeah, for now I'm just gonna put in like 4 USB-C. I actually forgot to like check how I want to insert them, but I mean, this is something I can very easily change later. And for now, I'm just eager to get the framework laptop started and going. And I mean, I can change out the cards later anyway. I mean, you can see that it's quite easy to do. And then I'm just gonna install like 2 USB-A's on the bottom. Should be fine. Alright. Alright, and that should be it. So, the moment of truth. Will it boot? Now, they did say in the manual that you should connect a charger, which I didn't, because I was hoping that the battery would be okay enough, but let me quickly grab So I have a USB-C charger, 100 watts. This is the nice thing about the framework laptop. You can just plug in on whatever side you want, just according to how you configure the input modules, right? And now it starts up just fine. Perfect. Love it. Yeah. Alright, so we got a warning saying that basically we don't have a boot device, which is logical. I put in a completely blank drive without Windows or anything at all installed. And here we are in the BIOS, so that's looking perfectly fine actually. Let me see. Yeah, keyboard works. Not sure about touchpad. Yeah, touchpad also works. Nice, very nice. Yeah, and that was it. That's basically it. So that's how you unbox and set up a framework laptop. I hope you find this video helpful. As I said, I'll be making some more videos. I'm not gonna show you how to install Windows or Linux. There are plenty of videos that show you how this can be done. So that doesn't hold my interest. But I will be making a video also about the ordering process, what to consider, like how did I make my choices and what hardware to pick and what options to pick and so on. So that's a video I'll be making, and then of course a review with my initial impressions, after I've installed Windows and set up the expansion modules the way I like them. Yeah, and then every 6 months or so a review to like reevaluate, do I still like it, is it still working correctly, has anything gotten damaged, those kind of things. That's something I'll be showing in future videos. But for now we've assembled the laptop, and it actually works, so that's very cool. Alright, I hope you found this video helpful, and hope to see you next video. Bye.